Figures.
My only thing with
because it's Asians.
No, I
care
don't.
about all of it.
No, I don't. I care about it because I know the girls, bruv. I care about it because I know the girls. My cousin was a victim of these fuckers in Luton.
What I'm saying is you only
That's
bring
what
up
I care
statistics
about.
on ethnic minorities. You never speak about any statistics about white people. The only time you brought up the white people 90% is because I said that you don't bring up any white people. That's the only time you bring up white people.
I focused on a problem
that
I saw in my town, and it was coming from the Islamic community, and I focused on it, and I spoke about the rape of children, and that's because it was something that was being covered up and not spoken about. No one was allowed to speak about it, and because when you speak about it, people want to kill you. Yeah, there's 6 Muslims in jail now doing 30 years. They got caught guns and bombs.
Can I play devil's advocate? Yeah. So he said that basically there was a march. They had a stall out there. They're recruiting. They're not in their country. You know that, innit? When we go to other countries, we have to abide by the way that countries ran. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't be too naked. You know, like if you go to Dubai or etc. etc. Do you think that a bunch of white men or a bunch of black men could go in one of those countries and just be recruiting, and they knowing that they're against everything that they stand for? Do you think that could happen?
Gambia, sex
could that happen?
Yeah, it happens in Gambia. White people go to Gambia from England and they pick up young boys and young girls and have sex with them.
Publicly on the street.
It's a big prolific problem in Gambia.
Yeah, there's a sex tourism problem. There is, but I'm talking about. I'm talking like country. But I'm talking like, you know, like countries like Dubai, Iraq, and them kind of places. Could a bunch of white men go over there and just be so radical and be saying, "Come, they're recruiting," and all of this, and could they do that? They could not. Yeah, but we have to look at it on both. But you can't.
Can you bring a Bible into
Do you understand? But on the other hand, with that, what I will say, the only thing with Tommy, with you, like I saw a clip, it was 5 years ago, so I don't know if you still feel the same with you and Piers. You know, when you held the Quran, do you still feel that way? Do you feel like...
I feel that a lot of the problems
easy, Tommy.
Yeah,
easy, Tommy. That's what I told you. It's not a Muslim thing.
I feel that a lot of the problems that are coming. Say for example, Salman Abedi. He blew up and killed 20 odd children in the Manchester Arena bombing. Yeah, his dad come here as part of the Libyan Liberation Front, which is a terrorist organisation. His dad was a terrorist. We brought him in, give him a house.
Yeah, NATO.
His son comes up. His son comes up to be a terrorist. His son could recite the Quran without looking at it. Yeah, without looking at it, right?
Mashallah.
He could recite the Quran without looking at it.
Mashallah.
So he's mistaken as well, obviously, in how he's taking. My point is, all of these men, these fundamentals, when they take it literally. Say, for example, Lee Rigby's killer, Michael Adebolajo. When he beheaded Lee Rigby, he handed a woman a piece of paper with 52 verses that he said forced him to do it. That he said. So what I'm saying is, if he's saying that. If Salman Abedi's saying that, if people are literally quoting the Quran while blowing things up and beheading people, then we need to examine
people quoting Tommy while shooting people.
They just misunderstood.
Innocent women and children in New Zealand.
They just misunderstood.
One man,
yeah.
They misunderstood the same way you're misunderstood.
But someone also ran over people outside the mosque, and he was also a follower and a supporter of you as well.
What about the Pope?
But we haven't got to my question. But we haven't answered my question.
What about the Pope, though?
No. We haven't answered my question. So in the thing, you know, you said that until this book that this
he
is
did.
About
He answered straight away. He said, "Yes, I do feel the same way."
He didn't say that.
He did.
Yeah, Cream. What I said is, what I said is, I was quoting William Gladstone. William Gladstone held the Quran above his head in Parliament and said there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book. It's a violent curse.
Suck your mother,
William Gladstone said that, yeah? So William Gladstone's one of the previous leaders of this country. He didn't talk about an interpretation, yeah? He spoke about... I think, with most Muslim conversions in jails and things like that, they're not converting because they believe Muhammad flew up to heaven.
They're converting because they're shook.
For a brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're shook. They want.
It's not a religion. You know what I mean? They're converting.
They want. I swear, I'm with him with that because a lot of them they're converting just for because they can't hold their own, innit?
This is my point. The black community, SMS, all of that, had a time in South London where black converts was literally sticking up man and forcing man to join Islam. But the black community didn't look at it and say this is Islam. We understood that this was Islam linked with these linked with these road use culture, with these road culture, and they was practicing it wrong. Not like the Muslims in the masjid that we know that pray 5 times a day. In the same way, we can see that with these grooming gangs, we can see that it's not Islam, it's Islam linked with British culture, which is called...
It's British culture's fault that Muslim men are raping kids.
Mike, bro.
Yeah,
let me get that clear. It's British
culture
culture's fault
why
that
they're
Muslim
drinking
gangs are raping
alcohol.
British kids.
It's British
Come on,
culture
bruv.
why they're drinking alcohol and using drugs. 100%. That's British culture.
You said it's
you
British
sniffed coke
culture's
yourself,
fault.
mate.
You
was part of the people that used to buy the drugs, bro. So
as a youngster,
Creamer, you're gonna ask you questions. You're gonna keep saying you're gonna wait till.
when have you
I
seen me
have
off
asked
my
him a
nut?
question.
No,
I'm
I'm saying the
listening, waiting
questions
for
you
him to
asked
say,
earlier.
yeah, but we're in talking about
I
something
know,
else.
but now you're done.
Bruv,
You're making them
bruv, all I'm
thing. I
taking
just
from
wanted
this,
a
all I'm
little-
taking from this is, you don't think black people can be racist, even if they're killing an innocent woman, and you now think it's British culture's fault that Pakistani men are raping British kids.
this is what I'm
That's
saying.
fucked up, man.
I didn't say it's British culture's fault that Pakistani men are raping British kids.
So it's 'cause of British
I
culture.
said British culture is part of the reason why people are using drugs, because that's part of
So what you
British
said.
culture.
We'll rewind this. Make sure this is in there.
That's
Rewind
part
it.
of British culture. Yeah, it's nothing Islamic culture about using drugs. There's
Drugs
nothing in
isn't
the
British
Quran.
culture. Drugs is in Colombia. Drugs is in
I don't
Mexico.
need no more.
Opium is in wherever. That's not true.
I'm saying that if you go out with the white football hooligans and you
None
go
of
to
them
a
did
pub, part of British culture is drinking alcohol and sniffing lines. That is part of British culture.
Listen.
Luton's football hooligans.
Listen, yeah, Kushkan, but I'll have nothing said against sniffing lines. I'll have nothing said against sniffing lines.
You're a joker.
That's
Spray.
all. Me and Jama,
I never done a cheeky one with you. You can't
me and Jama are having nothing against sniffing lines. I won't have that.
You made a good.
You know,
Tommy
I
said
sat
one
down
thing.
with
Sorry,
Muslim
Tommy.
last night, yeah?
Sorry,
Go on.
Tommy. You just said you ain't taking nothing from this podcast so far. All you've got in this. Just before this one thing, I just
He
wanted
said he
to
hasn't
leave with-
taken nothing from this podcast.
No, apart from he thinks all
You dissing the podcast,
black people
bro.
can't. No.
Oh, come
Spray,
on.
stop. Let me land before you go, man.
No, but is that what he
let
said?
me land. Because I want to teach him something before we go left. I need to teach. Not like that.
From
brother.
this, all I've
I
took
know,
from
you
this,
don't rate
is
this
Spray
podcast.
can't swim.
You don't rate this podcast, fam.
Hear me out.
This ain't. That's what you don't rate this podcast. This is a
Tommy.
wicked podcast.
Tommy,
Don't rate. Come on.
we
Tom,
don't
man.
blame
The pub
this is
stuff
this
and
is where I
all
want to
that,
go
yeah,
with it. We don't. No one don't turn around and we don't blame Catholic or the teachings in the Catholic Bible and say that's the reason why stuff
There's
happened with
crime.
the Pope. No, and the kids.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's a
No, wait,
nonce.
hang on. No, but I'm saying. Just like you said,
Fuck
the
the Catholic
Pope
Church.
is a nonce. We don't blame it on the book, but